As many of you know, motorcycles and bikes are a fairly new addition to the game of Asphalt 8.
And most of us freaking hate them.
And there are a couple of reasons that people just hate these motorcycles and bikes. One big one is that in multiplayer, if you're against other cars can easily knock your bike down. Meanwhile, for bikes, you can't knock a car down unless there's a glitch or you land right on top of the car, which is very difficult to do. Another complaint that a lot of people have about these motorcycles and bikes is that the handling and drifting capabilities are just too good. I know it's something that you'd probably never want to hear or never think you'd hear, but bicycles are really hard to drive due to their too incredible handling and drifting capabilities. And yet another pretty major complaint is that bicycles and motorcycles in this game can easily glitch out and slam into a wall suddenly, or just suddenly wreck and fly into the air, which is really annoying if you want a perfect lap or a perfect race. With that said, there are a few, not many, but a few upsides to these motorcycles and bikes. One of them is, as many of you should probably already know, the extra nitrous you get. For motorcycles and bikes, you have the option to do stunts in mid-air. And by performing these stunts correctly, you get extra nitrous, something called supercharged nitrous, which gives you basically a much larger boost than the regular nitrous would. It's kind of like an extra tuning kit that lasts for a very short 10 seconds or so. But it's still pretty useful. With that, we are going to take a look at the top 3 best motorcycles in Asphalt 8. Let's get to it. First, we have our honorable mention. Our honorable mention is the Suzuki GSX R750. Now, this is one of a few Class D motorcycles in the game, but this one stands out the most to me for Class D, because surprisingly, it's pretty darn good at multiplayer. Though it's not the best Class D vehicle, it's definitely not a Class D king, and it's not the best at events, this can be tuned to a pretty good multiplayer vehicle. And at a rank of around 900, you can go approximately 185 miles an hour. With supercharge, you can nearly reach 200 miles an hour. That's pretty good speed, if you're asking me. In addition to its decent speed, this bike has great handling and drifting, which is to be expected by every single bike in the game. Also, it has great acceleration, which is also something that's expected for every bike in the game, and just, it's not bad as a vehicle in general. The only thing I kinda dislike is the nitro efficiency, which runs out pretty quickly, but if you get supercharged, it's kinda like an extra tank. So, the nitrous efficiency may not be the best, but because of its supercharged feature, it's actually pretty alright. Starting our top 3 list, at our number 3 spot we have the BMW S1000RR. Now this bike is kinda similar to the Suzuki that we just talked about. It's pretty good in multiplayer. If you look at the stats, at a rank of 1515 in this footage, the bike can go 274 miles an hour, with supercharged over 280 miles an hour. And with great acceleration, great handling and drifting, and once again, an alright nitro efficiency, this bike still works out pretty well in multiplayer. Once again, like the Suzuki, not a Class A king, and it probably won't get to the top 100 leaderboards for events, but pretty great for multiplayer, and it's common blueprints, so winning common blueprints in boxes is not that difficult. So sure, it may take some time to get the blueprints for this bike, but once you get it, you probably won't regret it.
Oh my god, that rhymes!
In addition, in Mastery, it does have a champion box that it gives you, which grants 30 cards, with 10 being either rare or legendary. Champion Pro Kit boxes are worth around 1,000 tokens, so that's a pretty good bargain. Anyways, that's our number 3 spot. Our number 2 spot is very similar to our number 3 spot and our honorable mention, in the way that it's not a king of its class, and it doesn't do too well in time-limited events, but it's really good for multiplayer. We have the Suzuki Hayabusa as this number 2 spot. Now, acceleration, once again, fantastic. Handling and drifting, almost too good, but fantastic. Top speed, it's okay, but the nitrous boost is what helps this bike a lot. At my rank of Max Pro of 1714, which by the way is a very horrible tuning for this bike can go 284 miles an hour. With supercharge you can go 306 miles an hour. And I know that doesn't sound very impressive, but as I just said like 10 seconds ago, this is a very bad tuning. You should never Max Pro this bike because at a rank of around 1590, this bike can be multiplayer tuned so that it goes almost 280 miles an hour for its total speed, and the supercharged over 300 miles an hour. That's a pretty low rank with pretty good speed. And that makes our number 2 spot. Our number 1 spot is a vehicle that goes really, really fast. In fact, with supercharged, it is the second fastest speed in the entire game, of 327 miles an hour. That sounds pretty insane, doesn't it? This is the Kawasaki Ninja, and this bike arrived just in this update. It's relatively new, actually very new, it's not even out yet. Well, it depends on the time you're watching this video, but it's not out quite yet. With supercharged, as I said, 327 miles an hour. Without it, over 305 miles an hour. It's fast. That, along with great acceleration, great handling and drifting, makes this nearly a perfect vehicle, which is something that is very rare. Usually, every vehicle has at least one downside. Well, I guess you could argue that the top speed is not the highest in the game, and you could argue that the nitro efficiency is not the best in the game, but it's a pretty perfect car. That's pretty much it. Yeah, it's not that long of a video. Unfortunately, I'm not posting as much as I'd like to be, because probably the busiest weeks of this year, it's finals time. All those difficult tests that every class has. That's coming up. So, sorry that I'm really busy, guys. I will try to post more during the month of June, because that's when I have more free time, because it's summer vacation. Such fun. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. If you enjoyed at least a little bit, please make sure to hit that like button, and if you're not subscribed to me, you probably should, because this channel, it's not the best, but it's not that bad, so just join the Cheese God Army here. Also, follow my YouTube Instagram, it's called @theofficialaxis, where I post about some stuff, about cars and images of me. And also, if you DM me on Instagram, I will respond. It takes a long time, but I do respond in the end. Oh, and one more thing, if you guys didn't realize already, I have started live streaming with commentary, and my last live stream was probably my favorite live stream ever, because there was so much cool stuff that happened. Make sure to check that video out and show support for me, because honestly, I think that live stream was pretty top notch. Anyways, that's it. See you guys later. Bye bye.